reset.
Race Time Radio, Circle Track Racing Weekly News for you. Race Time Radio, Canada's national short track show. Race Time Radio, drop the green flag, here is your host, Joe.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Race Time Radio. Well, here we go, and what a night have we got lined up for you here tonight. We've got champions coming up from the East Coast, the Pro Stock Tour out on Canada's East Coast, finished up just yesterday with the Tire Craft 200, and it was Cole Butcher going to victory lane. We're going to catch up with Cole here tonight. Not only winner of that race, I believe he won 4 races this year out on Canada's East Coast, so good season for the 53 car. We'll also catch up with the 2022 champion. We got Craig Slaunwhite coming on the show. He drives the 99, and we'll hear from Craig here tonight. We've got, we're hoping to have JP Josier from Peterborough Speedway, and we'll talk about the 29th annual Autumn Colors Classic weekend coming up next weekend. We'll also check in at Flamboro Speedway. A big day. Frostoberfest happening there today. And we're going to get some live stuff happening right from the Speedway. Hopefully catching up with the winners here tonight on the show, all live. And we'll also check in with Grant Enfinger out in the U.S. side. He had a real good race going at Talladega International Speedway, and then ended up blowing a tire, and that was the end of his day, consequently, and probably his chase hopes as well. Just 2 races left to go in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Did you happen to catch the races from Talladega today? Man, what a weekend of racing at Talladega. Of course, the trucks were green yesterday, along with the Xfinity Series. Got to put it out. A.J. Allmendinger wins. How about Matt DiBenedetto winning his first truck race? He's only led 1 Camping World Truck lap, and that lap was yesterday at Talladega, the one that counted. It took them a little bit after the completion of the race. Caution came out. There was trucks all over the place. Took NASCAR a little bit, but they wanted to make sure they got it right. And Matt DiBenedetto goes to victory lane. But we haven't got Matt on the show tonight, but we will have Grant Enfinger on the program in hour number 2. So we got lots coming at you tonight. Of course, our Canadian, Jason White, was down at Talladega. He was really hoping to get in there and race once again on the Superspeedway. He usually comes away with a good finish, Jason does, and he didn't qualify. Truck was not quick enough. They missed the mark by just a little bit, and by the sounds of it, he will be back to Daytona in the spring. February will roll around, and it won't be long, and Jason will go at it again at Daytona. So heartbreak for him, to say the least. We're hoping that we're going to be able to catch up with Jason here tonight on the show from Sun Peaks, BC. Probably doesn't want to talk a lot about it, but I know there was a lot of Canadian fans tuned in to find out what Jay was going to be able to do again on the Superspeedway, and lo and behold, it wasn't in the cards for him. Truck just not quick enough this time around, but that's what happens every now and then in the series. And We're going to get off to the hotline, shall we? And let's get in guest number one. We have Cole Butcher all lined up, I do believe. Cole, what's going on tonight? How you doing, buddy?
Good, how are you?
Fantastic, man. Congratulations on another huge win in the East Coast International Pro Stock Tour, the 53 car. You were spot on, man. That 2 was all over you like a fat guy on a Smartie, but you were up for the challenge. The 53 car went to victory lane. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Action was good all day. So Slaunwhite. So, any one of those cars were going to win. Fortunately, we came out on top.
Yeah, it was a dynamite race. Watched it on timscorner.tv or Tim's Corner TV. And, good race all in all. You didn't start right at the front, Cole. You had to methodically work your way through, but you did it. And I got to ask you, that red that you've got the car painted looked different this time around. Is it a different red? It looked awful shiny on the front and the back.
No, we had to start in the back due to the Riverside winning rule. You can't start any higher than 10th or 11th or something like that. And as for the red, now it's the same red as always.
Really? Just looked different last night on camera. It caught my eye. I went, wow, that looks like a different red. I wonder if Cole had changed that up, and I had missed it up until last night's race. But, man, what a show. It was a very clean show. When you take a look at that race, the Tirecraft 200, and look back to the 250 just back in August, man, there was no comparison. Everybody was sort of minding their P's and Q's yesterday. It was a great race. Did it feel good inside the car too, I imagine?
Yeah, it felt really good. Everybody was racing with lots of respect, and it went smooth as you can ask for. I don't think anyone really got tore up, so that's always a good sign.
Now, hey, the brother in there in the 54 car, I was really hoping Jarrett was going to pull off a victory this year, but he was so close a number of times again this year. He ended up down at turn number 1 and 2 kind of earlier in the race. What happened with his car? Do you know?
No, he had clutch problems.
Ah, clutch, yeah. That'll take you out in a hurry, won't it?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I bet. Now, through the race, and I believe it was in the second half of the race, I'm not sure, but I do recall hearing the guys talk about maybe some stuff coming off the 54 car and coming down to the 53. Was there a transfer of anything? Did you scavenge any parts off the 54 car?
Not that I'm aware of.
No? Okay. Well, I heard the guys talking about it on the broadcast, but they weren't specific on any kind of part or what was being transferred or if there was. I think maybe it was just speculation more than anything with what you're telling us there. So all in all, a good day, good season for you. What was that, 4 victories in the Pro Stock Tour, or was that 5?
5 wins total, 2 with the tour.
Wow. Wow, good season now. Is that a record for you in a season?
Yeah, I usually say this sounds cocky, but I usually have 4 wins a year. But we were able to get 5 this year, and we got 4 more races left.
Hey, there's nothing cocky about that, man. Those are results. You work awful hard. You and the whole team work awful hard for those results. You got to be flying those flags pretty high in the shop, I can well imagine.
Oh, for sure. The start of the year didn't look very good, but at the end of it all came together, and that's what we work hard for.
Exactly. Cole, you've still, as mentioned there, have some races left. You're not hitting the couch yet. The car isn't going to be sort of hitting the bunk just yet. What do you got coming up? You're busy again next weekend, right?
Yeah, we're in La Crosse Speedway in Wisconsin racing Oktoberfest with the Arca Midwest Tour, and then we go to Winchester 400 with CRA the weekend after, and then we have a couple weekends off. We go to Nashville for the 400, and then we have about, I think, a month, a little bit less than a month off. No, but a full month off. And then we go run the Derby.
Ah, the Snowball Derby. That's got to be the one, Cole, that you've got circled on that list. I know you got every one of those races that you want to go out and win. That's why you're going to go do them. But out of the ones that you got coming up, is there any one that stands out more than the other? Would it be the Derby?
Yeah, the Derby is the crown jewel of them all. So we were able to get the Oscar 250 this year. So if we were able to get the Derby, that'd be a pretty great year.
Man, it would really cap it off. What's it going to take to go out there and be victorious? Is the competition any different when you go south of the border than what it is at home out at Scotia?
I don't know, the last number of years in the tour, car count's been down, but I'd say the Maritimes as a whole, the competition's fairly similar, just a little different, but the competition's pretty stellar everywhere we go.
Now, speed-wise, I know when you go down south sometimes. Now, are you going to take the 53 that you raced on the weekend? Is that the car that's going to go with you down south? Or do you pick up your other car that is down south already? And the difference between that car that you raced down south and this one, is there drastic changes to the car?
Yeah, I have a car in North Carolina. I stays there year round, so it has 300 more horsepower. It's pretty well. It shocks and everything are different, and tires are a little bit different, but the motor's the biggest thing. It's a super late model compared to a pro late model that we run here.
Yeah, so it feels different. How about crew-wise? Do you take the same guys down with you, the crew of the car, or do you have a U.S.-based crew that you work with when you head down there, and then when you're up here, you got these guys?
Depends on the race. The Derby, my guys will come down and they'll be there. But they're kind of there just relaxing, enjoying their time off. And I have Wilson Motorsports crewing the cars.
So will Jarrett go down with you too when you go to run the Derby? I know he's had fairly decent success in the Snowflake, and he's ran along good in the 54 car. Will he be going down south as well, or is it just going to be you and the guys?
He'll be running the Flake this year.
Yeah, good. So we'll have that to look forward to. Any other talk from any of the other competitors that you race against out at Scotia be heading down south with you?
Not really. I think Slaunwhite's going to go down and watch, and Austin McDonald, I think, is racing the Flake, but other than that, I haven't heard of anything.
Yeah, the 08 of Nicholas Noggle, I know.
Yes, Nicholas is going to go. He's going to run the Flake and the Derby.
Is he? Good. Yeah, because he just come off a run at Five Flags, I guess, trying to get some of those all-important laps in. He was just down there, 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty amazing. Cole, you've got just a few days. You're going to turn it around, head south. Talk about the sponsorship on that race car. I know it means a ton to you. They look fantastic, and you got the same supporters, it seems, year after year.
For sure. I know we have James. He's been with us since day one. David, Pixie, Greg, Mom, Dad, Jarrett, Kirk, Huey, Craig, Bugsy, Joel, Tyler. Everybody's kind of been around forever. Atlantic Cola, Top Construction, Hang Up Fisheries, PFC Brakes, Tilton Performance, Cliff Springs, Route 7 Excavating, Murray Davis. Those guys have been with me forever, and hopefully we continue.
Oh, yeah, and hopefully the results keep rolling on through. You do a great job for all of those supporters and the crew guys. You guys got a whale of a team, Cole, and it really, it's a building process, isn't it? Like when you take a look back on how much it took for, the team to glue together, for you to have the success you're having this year. It's got a lot to do with the past, right?
100%. Everybody learned together, and this is where we've gotten because of it. So, all we can do is keep going up, hopefully, and keep collecting wins.
Cole Butcher, you're always welcome on this program, and we surely appreciate the time each and every time to jump on here with us and be able to celebrate the successes that you've had behind the wheel of the 53. In 2023, final question for you tonight, bud. In 2023, you're going to go back and try and get that championship again in the Pro Stock Tour? Are you done watching Craig win it?
If the tour gets their act back together, I'll probably return, but I guess that's up to them. So we'll have to see what they're willing to do next year and go from there.
You betcha. Cole, safe travels down south. We'll have our eyes glued on you all the way through and probably be bugging you to get back on the show and get us up to date on how things went next weekend and all the way through, my friend.
All right, perfect. Well, I appreciate you guys having me.
You betcha. That is Cole Butcher, driver of the 53 in the East Coast International Pro Stock Tour. What a competitor. Look at the success he's had this year, including, of course, the Oxford 250 and the Tirecraft 200 that he just won yesterday. Success is something that these guys have worked very, very hard to do. And like he says, he's usually good for about 3-4 wins a year. This year's been extra special, and he still has more races on the docket to go after. He is one tough competitor on both sides of the border, and we're sure proud of him up here in Canada. It's going to be interesting to see how things unfold as time clicks on here. Of course, the fall season, all the big specials are all coming around now, including, there's a big one today at Flamboro Speedway. Gary Elliott, that normally runs out on the East Coast, he's moved out there the last couple of years. Gary has done a homeward bound trip, and he is at his own home track turf at Flamboro Speedway, where the Ironman of Canada has had 1 billion laps. He's out there racing probably as we speak right now. We hope to catch up with Gary Elliott and get you all kinds of results from Flamboro Speedway a little bit later in the show. But we're up alongside of break number 1. We're going to hit this break, and when we come back, the champion in the East Coast International Pro Stock Tour, the 99 of Craig Slaunwhite, is going to be up next on the other side of the break. Stay with us, everybody. We're just getting started.
Come on, wake up, honey. I got a little money coming my way. We got to get out of here. If you find me some cigarettes, little whiskey and me.
From coast to coast, you're listening to Canada Talks.
Hey, this is JP from Peterborough Speedway. This Thanksgiving weekend, October the 7th to 9th, we're hosting our annual Autumn Colors Classic, the biggest racing event in Ontario. 3 days of racing action at Peterborough Speedway presented by Lucas Oil in Pure Country.
All right, man, you're ready to go.
This year, the Speedway hosts 10 divisions of racing action with the best drivers in the country appearing. Friday, it's first round qualifying for the Bone Stocks, Mini Stocks, Super Stocks, Legends, Hot Rods, along with the Young Gun races.
You know what you gotta do.
Gates will open at 5 and racing will start at 6. Saturday, October the 8th, it's second round qualifying action with B features, the late models and junior late models, along with outlaw midgets added to the bill. Sunday, October the 9th, wraps it all up with feature events for all divisions, including the late model Electric City 167. Peterborough Speedway in Pure Country, bringing you to Crown Jewel Racing, the 29th annual Autumn Colors Classic weekend of October the 7th to the 9th. Visit peterboroughspeedway.com to book your tickets in advance.
Good job, driver, good job.
Even though Napa is a nationally known name, nearly all of our stores are built from the ground up by local owners and families. People you might call neighbors will be here, there, and everywhere. Doing what neighbors do to keep their communities moving forward. You stop by a Napa Auto Parts store, you can count on Napa know-how.
Tonight's Race Time Radio is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts Stores, New Glasgow, Antigonish, and Port Hawkesbury, Nova Scotia. You can count on Napa know-how. BP Race Fuels, the worldwide leader in race fuel technology.
Now, a flashback in Canadian music history. Here's Eric Alper.
Rush holds a special place in our hearts and in the record books. They've sold more than 40 million copies around the world. They have a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Officers of the Order of Canada. And they've released 24 gold records and 14 platinum albums, placing them 5th for the most consecutive gold or platinum studio albums by any rock band.
From the high banks of Daytona, we cover it all. Ooh, that's going to leave a mark. And now, back to the Joes.
Hey, shake and bake, Cal! Woo! Shake and bake!
Here on Race Time Radio.
And welcome back, everybody, all live tonight on Race Time Radio. So glad you could tune in here on SiriusXM, Channel 167, Canada Talks, also on RaceTimeRadio.com, and check us out on our YouTube page. It's RaceTimeRadioTV on YouTube. Don't forget to give us a little subscribe on there, and you'll never miss a Race Time Radio again. So glad you could tune in tonight. We got a busy one for you, and the action continues. Let's get back to the hotline, shall we? And welcome in the 2022 East Coast International Pro Stock Tour champion. He is a defending champion. He drives the number 99. His name is Craig Slaunwhite, a familiar name here on Race Time Radio. Craiger, how are you tonight?
I'm still not feeling that well, but things are good.
Oh, you're not feeling well because of so much feeling good yesterday, or is it not feeling good because you got a cold like I had 2 weeks ago?
No, took a race to the rev limiter last night, I think.
Oh boy, take it to the limit is what the Eagles always said, right?
That's right, exactly.
Well, you did it again, Craig. Look at this. 2 championships back-to-back in that 99 car. And I got to allude to what Tim Terry was saying in the interview with you after the race, saying, Craig, wasn't so long ago you were ready to hang the helmet up and call it a day. And look at you now, 2 championships and how many wins?
Oh, geez, 2 championships and 8 wins, I think.
Wow.
In a 2-year span, yeah, quite crazy.
Isn't that amazing, Craig? And it's not like you weren't putting the effort into it when you had the other 99 car 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. The effort that you put forth was second to none each and every time you went on the track. Man, you were even like a Cat 250 winner. I think back, Craig, I've known you for a long time. I've never, ever seen you or your crew sort of laying back on your laurels and trying to wait for a race to come to you. You guys have dug every single lap of every single race.
Yeah, I mean, it's been my mentality, and everybody that's been around me for many years, ever since I started, is the never give up mentality, and surround yourself with good people and good things will happen, and here we are, and it shows, right? And again, yeah, we put so much time and effort in over the years in previous cars. Matt and I and Shane, we slugged hard in the shop for a lot of years. And when you don't have the smarts, I guess, not smarts, but when you don't eat, breathe, and sleep it daily as your job, and you take guesses on setups, or you're listening to this guy and listening to that guy, we thought we were going to be really good from time to time, and you hit the right setup as a one-off, but for the last couple of years, having Andrew and King competition preparing the car for us, I mean, it's what they do for a living. Andrew eats, breathes, sleeps, studies. He races all around the country with people. He's learning stuff every single day. and it takes you to the next level. It's something that I never would have believed until I got to experience this. I looked at Cole and Dylan and guys like that over the last few years. That how can you be that good? But when the old saying, races are won in the shop, those guys eat, breathe, and sleep it as well, and they learned a lot of things at a young age, and they're good drivers. The way they come up through Bandolero legends and right into a pro stock car, and to have something that when you unload, all you got to do is make maybe a 16th packer, or sway bar sweep, maybe track bar a little bit, like tiny little adjustments to get you right to near perfect. It's kind of unheard of. It's something that me and my guys never really got to experience over the years. We'd have 2 or 3 different setups going to the track. Years past, and you'd be wore out when you got to the track because you worked all week on it, and then you'd be wore out the day of, slugging to try and get fast. And I'd be driving 150% every single lap, whether it be practice or heat race feature, whatever, to kind of keep up. And now it's just, it's a pleasure. It's unreal. You can relax. You're rested when you get to the track on Friday night, and Saturday's a good day at the track. You're not slugging your whole load trying to find 2-3 tenths. You're basically right in the wheelhouse as soon as you unload, and it makes for a good time.
Well, you got to be up for the task too, and so does the crew. I know Andrew Hicken and King Competition, as mentioned there. Andrew does a phenomenal job, but I guess the best analogy is I could give you a helicopter, but if you don't know how to fly it, it isn't going to be worth too much to you to have a helicopter. And you have got to be up for the task. You got to be able to give them guys the input that they're looking for. It's not all car. There's a lot of driver input, a lot of team input that goes into it. And I might add, it has to be a good car and it has to have the I's dotted and T's crossed for all of that to happen. But it is no fluke, Craig Slaunwhite, when you go out there and lay down what you have done over the past 2 seasons in the East Coast International Pro Stock Tour. It has to validate all of those hard nights in the shop, all of the time that you guys have been putting in, and it's got to validate it to King as well. Like they've really got to look at it and go, hey, we got a real good driver in Craig Slaunwhite. It's got to be a team, and I believe you guys have got it all put together right now.
Oh, it is. It's a whole team effort, absolutely. And as I said in my interview yesterday, it doesn't just stop. It doesn't stop at when it leaves the King shop. It doesn't stop when it leaves my crew guys. It doesn't stop. Look at our wives and girlfriends that come with us every single week and prepare the food and just there to cheer you on and stuff like it. No, it doesn't. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and a lot of dedication behind a lot of people to make these things go around in circles. So, it's been quite the ride.
We're with Craig Slaunwhite tonight, all live on SiriusXM Channel 167, the 2022 East Coast International Pro Stock Tour, the driver of the 99 car. Craig, when you look at the season and you look at last year, the championship, it was the COVID season, the year from hell, if you will, where you guys managed to get some races in. The competition was there. The fans weren't able to attend. This year, in stark contrast, we were able to have fans at the track. We were able to, go out there and celebrate like you guys did last night. Is this year's championship any sweeter than last year, being at the second championship in a row?
You know what? It's definitely different. It's they always say that the second one's harder to get. And we still happen to get it in the second year, or in a row, I guess you could say. And this year being different than last year, we were back to a normal schedule. There was no restrictions. You didn't have to worry about, how many fans were going to be or weren't going to be in the stands. how many cars couldn't travel across provinces and things like that. I mean, this year was different because you know what it's like. It's like last year, win the championship, it was 9 races long. Well, you get the odd person that's, it would have been a full season, and it would have been this, and it would have been that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Might not have got it. So to back it up in a normal year was absolutely what I wanted to do, and it's what I set my expectation at the first of the year. I mean, after last year, it was basically, I got to get another one. I want to keep this streak. I want to keep it rolling, and I want to get one with a full schedule, a full 12 race schedule, and yeah, it is. It's not that it's sweeter, but it's just got a different feel to it this year. You know what I mean?
Oh, I do. I think I understand exactly what you're saying, and I believe it heads back to that validation. This one here, backing it up with a second championship. Not only is it hard to back, but to do it in style the way that you did, Craig Slaunwhite, has really got to be like putting that stamp on it and shipping it. You have truly done it this year, and full schedule. The competition, I don't believe, could get any tougher than what you were under this year. Was this 99 car faster than last year's 99, or was it comparable? Driving both those cars, were they? Was one quicker than the other?
No, this is the same car.
Same car, but speed-wise.
Same car I ran last year.
But
speed-wise?
Speed-wise, was it a faster 99 this year than it was last year?
You know what? It was. There was times when we definitely were faster. See, we ended up. The shock rule changed shortly into the new year, or shortly into the season, and I was still so used to the car on the what they call around here blue shocks, and everybody else was on the same shock, and I think that we might have had a little bit of an advantage when it came to the blue shock package, like last year, and then when it changed this year, I think other people might have got a little faster, and then we had to step our game up. And at the first of the year, I actually stayed committed to the blue shocks, and kind of felt like maybe we were missing a little bit because of the new QA1s that we got to have more rebound and pin the car down. And, they do better things, and I wasn't a fan at the first. But again, with more races under our belt, the car got better, and I'm not going to say that it was a lot of a faster of a car than what we had last year. We just ended up getting those shocks under us and figuring it out. And I mean, we've been fast everywhere we've been. It's kind of crazy, to be honest with you. Every time, every track, it doesn't matter where we go, we're fast, and I try not and let practice times and all that kind of stuff get in my head. It's just all about the feel of the car, and I know when I get that certain feeling in that car, we're going to go to the front in a hurry. So
yeah, it's not point and pray anymore, right? It's not point and pray. Yeah.
So
pretty amazing. Pretty amazing when you look at the season that you guys have done. And to be able to go out there and championship again. Craig, I'm going to ask you this question. Don't know whether you're going to like the question or not, but, when you take a look at the effort of the 99 car, say 3 years ago, 4 years ago, that was all your equipment. That was you and your team rolling after it, and you were working with the great manufacturers and getting support. Then you did the big change. You switched over to King. Financially, was it drastically more to do what you have been doing? Was it comparable to what you were doing with your own equipment? And is the 99 car your car, or is that King Racing?
No, it's all my gear. I own it all, and obviously it's my sponsors that are on it. It's just that I had bought the car from King, from Jonathan, really, and then I mean, those guys knew the car. Andrew builds them. Corey sets them up. Jonathan's now over here working on them. I mean, it's no different when you're at home doing landscaping on your property and you're doing it yourself. What's it cost you in labor? Nothing. So if you want to call a landscaping company to come in and landscape your yard, it's going to cost you a lot of money.
Right.
So of course it does cost a lot more money. But look what I've done in 2 years.
Yeah.
I went from wanting to give up, hanging the towel, to signing up with these guys, and it making me realize at 41 years old you could drive a race car and win championships and win races. So it's one of those things that it costs a lot more, but what doesn't cost anymore?
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And on a check and balance too, if you're getting the results, you're getting the wins, you're getting that, maybe some of that will offset, and you never know at the end of the year when you do the check and balance, maybe it works out better this way.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the thing is when you can run this good and you can get better payouts at the end of the night, great. But this year was a little more difficult on us because I didn't get that big money win this year, and that $10 or $14 or $15 or $18,000 that you can get in some of these races, in the 250s and then the Mike Stevens 200s, they are what help the bills, so to speak. But I kind of shit the bed hard when it came to the 250s and the Mike Stevens this year, and got nothing out of all three of those money races. So that hurts the pocketbook a big time, right?
Oh, and it would too.
Yeah. I mean, last year I think that was the Mike Stevens alone was $14,000 something. I mean, that catches you up with your bills. And when you bank on making a paycheck to pay bills, and it doesn't happen, it hurts.
Oh, and it would. Craig, do you ever look south of the border? We hear Cole Butcher. He's heading south next weekend. He's got like 4 or 5 races that he wants to do down south. Those are maybe not historically high dollar races, but they do pay, good coin. With the success that you've been having up here, do you ever get tempted to look south and say, you know what, going to go down there and I'm going to pick 1 or 2 of these and I'm going to go after it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I want to big time, but it's no different. If you need the sponsors to do it, and the sponsors that I have, lucky enough, they get us through our year up here. And then when it comes to, you can spend as much money in 2 races going south of the border as what you would spend up here in almost a season. So you gotta have some backing behind you. I mean, I've got 2 races in the back of my mind that I want to do. Next year we're going to do the Oxford 250 for sure, and I'd like to get to the Snowflake race, the Derby weekend in Florida. So they're on my radar. If the funding appears, we will do them, and if not, then it is what it is. I mean, it's there's nothing you can do about it when you don't have the money to go and chase those big races that are down there. I'd love to. I'd love to race down there 5-6 times a year if I could. But
right, but there's nothing wrong with having the success that you're doing up here on this side of the border and doing what you're doing. Craig, it's been an outstanding year. You've always been there for us as well. Each time you've been gracious with your time. I'll text you and say, hey, and you go, yep, here you go. And we surely appreciate it. To have you as a champion on here. You're a well-deserved one. Just amazing to see the season that you had. Let's quickly talk about the Tigercraft 200 yesterday. It kind of looked like you were going to be finishing the year with a victory. The 53 car was incredibly strong. So was that 2 car. He had a really good season, Ashton Tucker. Those 2 guys there were definitely quick cars yesterday, but the 99 car was right up there as well. What else did you need to go to victory lane yesterday, or were you content with where you were, the situation, and say, okay, that's it for the year, I'm good?
No, I wasn't content at all. I was quite mad that we didn't win that race last night. one of those things that everybody's like, oh, you just need to make a lap and then ride out the season. And in my mind, well, if I only needed to make a lap, then it's time to go win the race. So I had in my mind that I wanted to leave there last night with the win and the championship. I mean, just like anybody would want to, but that was my goal. And as far as I'm concerned, we got the car where it needed to be. I mean, I started, I think, 12th or 13th or something, and wasn't long. I was at the front and took the lead from Cole. I don't know, probably lap 40 or 50. I actually don't even know, somewhere's around there. Led to the halfway break, took tires, and just before the halfway break, I ran over a spring that came off of Jordan Mino's car, and it tore the ductwork right out of the car. So the guys literally had to spend the whole 10 minutes taping up the ductwork, and we needed to. Not that we didn't concentrate on making the right adjustment. It was just like that happened, and it was kind of like half mad that seriously a spring was going to take our night out. So anyways, went out and the car was good as soon as we took the green at lap 101 or whatever it would have been. And then it just started tightening up. And I don't know if our stagger went away from us or whatever, but that's all it took. It just needed to tighten up that little tiny bit, and Cole and Ashton were all over me. So it was like, I'm not gonna try and battle these guys. Let them go, and hopefully they're gonna battle themselves right back behind me again. You know what I mean?
Right. And you'd be in position.
Yeah, and they ended up staying pretty good in front of me. I mean, I mixed it up with them on a couple restarts. I was able to go pretty good on the short run. I think I got up in underneath Ashton a couple times and ran second, and then he'd get back by me, and then those two checked out a tiny little bit there at the end. It was just, it was a good race. A lot of people are saying it was a real good race the whole way through. So, no, I wanted to win the race, but we finished on the podium and the championship, and straightforward.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal race. Watching it yesterday, I was totally impressed. Of course, wishing I was there calling that baby along with Tim and Dylan and even Chris Hughes up in the broadcast booth helping Tim and the guys out. He did a great job up there. Nice to hear a driver in there to give some input in what you guys are potentially going through inside those race cars. And it was a damn good show last night, and a great way to cap the season off. If you get your wish list, champ, what will you see for the 2023 edition of the Pro Stock Tour for next year? Is there any kind of little tweaking that you'd want to see done that would energize everybody once again and have that place just jamming?
Yeah, I think there's a few of us that have a lot of ideas that we got to sit down with the tour officials and have some conversation, because a few things went on this year that not a lot of people liked, and the morale is a little bit low. And I think that there's certain people around that it's no different than you got let's say you're in an office of 10 people and you got one bad apple, it ruins the whole bunch. But when you have a tour like this and you got a couple people that are out there speaking off, it kills morale. And so for number one, morale needs to get back up.
Mm-hmm.
Two, I think money. You can't. Nobody can afford to do this anymore. So if the tour as a business can go out and find more money to put back into the purse, I'm a firm believer that the guy that's finishing 10th to 15th, his expenses being tires and gate bill should be paid. It should be $1,000 to $1,500 to near finish last. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's almost number one reason why people can't go weekly. It costs double the amount of money to tow up the road right now. The tires are almost $300 each. And guys just can't afford it. They really can't afford it. Do people want to do 12 races? No, I think 10 race schedule will probably be real good. I think it should be week on, week off, week on, week off. I think, a long weekend when people want to spend time with their families and do different things, there shouldn't be a race.
You got to be careful, though, because that's when the tracks get an opportunity to pack up, right? So to make the money
but
to
you know
do
what? That's I agree with what you're saying, but those guys around here have done that anyway. You know, they're having their own races, and you know, there's lots of talk that tracks are going to do their own thing next year and all that kind of stuff. But
Right.
you know, I think the tour needs to be around. I really do, and I think that there's some certain things that can happen that can make it strive again, and not have a race on Oxford 250 weekend. You know, I'm sure Cole would probably throw his hat in and say, "Yeah, I'm going to race full time again next year." If there's no race on the Oxford 250 weekend, you can't race petty on the Saturday night, get geared up, and then go to the Oxford 250 for Sunday.
Right.
You got to go down there. You got to spend your whole weekend from Thursday on down there.
Yeah, and that's like having, you know, somebody else having a big race on IWK 250 weekend. It's kind of a shame when that happens. You need to have those open spaces and coordination, and it's going to make the sport bigger. It's going to make it better for everybody, and make it more conducive to what we need as race fans, as competitors, and everything else. Champ, hit those sponsors because I know they mean a ton to you.
Oh, yeah, no, can't forget them. Like Presidential Ventilation, Archibald Drilling and Blasting, RJ Motorsport, Stones RV, King Competition, B&L Fulmore, Xander Signs, KC Marine Mechanical Insulation, Nails by Sydney, Dakin, Prestige, Cellric Enterprises, Rick Balser Welding. I don't know if I'm missing any here. I say B&L Fulmore, I believe so. And there's some people that stepped up behind the scenes and bought a couple tires and paid a couple bills and such that their name's not on the car. That, you know, I mean, they're just silent people that want to be involved. It's, again, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be doing that.
And you're right, Craig. It takes a small army to put it all together to go out and do what you guys do. And congratulations on the championship, Craig. I know we're going to get you on through the off season. We're going to have lots of time to do lots of bench racing and prepare for 2023. Final question for you tonight. Will you go after the third championship in a row in 2023, or is that decision still down the road?
I think the decision is still down the road because I do think that the tour needs to make a couple changes, and hopefully if things change and go the way that I think a lot of racers want it to be, then, I mean, no one's ever done it 3 times, so we'll see.
Incredible.
Or 3 times in a row. 3 times in a row.
3 times in a row. I hear you. That would definitely be tough to do. Craig Slaunwhite, congratulations on this year's championship and all the successes this year. And can't thank you enough for joining us here on Race Time Radio. Look forward to the off season as we can talk about lots.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on, and thanks for what you guys do for the support.
You betcha. That is Craig Slaunwhite, the driver of the 99, and man, what a season. If you missed any of the races, look, we got a long off-season ahead of us. You want to get to timscorner.ca. And, you know, Tim racks all of these races. He broadcasted each and every Pro Stock Tour race from out on Canada's East Coast. You get an opportunity to go back and watch them. And I might add that Rev TV Canada is going to have some of those races on Rev TV throughout the course of the off-season, as they do, you know, the stuff we were doing out on Canada's West Coast at Penticton Speedway and the RS1 Cup Series. All of those races from BC are all going to be on Rev TV throughout the course of the off-season. I know we're going to get Mike Garrow on this show here. It won't be next weekend, probably the weekend after that. And we're going to talk to him about what's coming up in the off-season. But believe you me, it'll be a great time to contact your television provider. And if you don't have Rev TV Canada yet, you want to add that to your channel lineup, because I'll tell you what, we've got a great off-season. We had a great season of racing, and a lot of those races are going to be on Rev TV Canada, that if you happen to have missed them, you'll be able to visit them and watch not only some great racing here in Canada, but a lot of the U.S. races are also on Rev TV Canada. Check it out. Check your local listings. A great channel and a great supporter of Racetime Radio. We're going to hit this break. Action is going on at Flamboro Speedway. Brandon McFerrin wins the Super Stock race. Garrett Demiersma was in there. Lane Zardo was also making up your top three. We're going to try and get Brandon McFerrin on the show. We're going to try and get you some updates, some live stuff from Flamboro Speedway on the other side of this break. So stay with us. We will be back all live tonight on Racetime Radio. It's time to get back to the racetracks. For over 30 years, Quick Fire Starters have fueled the sport on and off the track, making lighting your campfire as easy as 1, 2, 3. There's no need for kindling or paper. Just pop your Quick Fire Starter in the pit, add your wood, and presto, you're a pro. Quick Fire Starters. No harmful chemicals, and guaranteed to light your fire every time. Quick Fire Starters, the world's best fire starter.
Rev TV, your motorsports and automotive destination. Watch live races from around the world and right here at home, from 2 wheels to 4 and so much more. Rev TV is your source for motorsports. Rev TV features exclusive race series, up-to-date news coverage, documentaries, how-to programs, and adrenaline-filled lifestyle programs 24/7. Go green with Rev TV. Contact your TV provider to order.
Tonight's Racetime Radio is fueled by AP Race Fuels, the worldwide leader in race fuel technology.
If you're a Springsteen fan, you just found the promised land. Hear rare interviews and performances. Live concerts.
Is there anybody alive out there?
Celebrity guest DJs.
This is Rob Lowe. Hey, baby, it's Little Steven here.
And more exclusives when listening to Bruce Springsteen's channel.
Welcome, Bruce Springsteen, to E Street Radio, your home away from home.
Great to be here. E Street Radio, SiriusXM Channel 20.
Hey, this is JP from Peterborough Speedway. This Thanksgiving weekend, October the 7th to 9th, we're hosting our annual Autumn Colors Classic, the biggest racing event in Ontario. 3 days of racing action at Peterborough Speedway presented by Lucas Oil in Pure Country.
All right, man, you're ready to go.
This year, the Speedway hosts 10 divisions of racing action with the best drivers in the country appearing. Friday, it's first round qualifying for the Bone Stocks, Mini Stocks, Super Stocks, Legends, Hot Rods, along with the Young Gun races.
You know what you gotta do.
Gates will open at 5 and racing will start at 6. Saturday, October the 8th, it's second round qualifying action with B features, the late models and junior late models along with outlaw midgets added to the bill. Sunday, October the 9th wraps it all up with feature events for all divisions, including the late model Electric City 167. Peterborough Speedway in Pure Country bring you to Crown Jewel Racing, the 29th annual Autumn Colors Classic weekend of October the 7th to the 9th. Visit peterboroughspeedway.com to book your tickets in advance.
Good job, driver, good job.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
Welcome back.
Racetime Radio.
And welcome back, everybody, to Racetime Radio. I think I like it, too. Yeah. Joey Vinegar, check him out. Just Google him, Joey Vinegar. He's got some great tunes. Canadian guy, does a great job, and he does all the music we do through the breaks is Joey Vinegar. So check him out. Let's get back to the hotline, shall we? And we'll bring in the Super Stock winner from Frostoberfest at Flamboro Speedway. He just did it moments ago. His name, Brandon McFerrin. He joins us now on the hotline. Congratulations, Brandon. Way to go, buddy. Hello, Brandon.
Hello. Hey, how you doing?
Doing good, man. Congratulations on the big win today. That's got to feel super.
we've been chasing the win for a long time. It's taken me 3 years to get back to the winner's circle, and I feel like we did it on a big on a big platform, so feels great.
I wouldn't doubt it. And look at you go. You get one of Mike Schmidt's cherished trophies, I would imagine. Did you get one of those igloos?
I've never. I've been chasing them for like 7 or 8 years now. So as long as this deal's been going on, I've always been the lady in black at this race. If bad stuff has happened, and you know what? I didn't really think it was going to go my way tonight either. The car wasn't really where I needed it to be. The first 25 laps of the race, and then we got that red flag, and it just came to me there. And glad to duke it out with my good buddy Lane Zardo. That was fun. So I was pretty happy to take that igloo home tonight.
No, I wouldn't doubt it, man. That I feel great for you, knowing that you have been chomping at the bit and being right there. Good for you for getting the job done and going up against, that Bester Forest Products 36. Lane Zardo has been one of those tough guys. Same thing with Garrett Tamirsman, that 17 car. You topped some really good cars there today, my man.
Yeah, them boys, when you go up against them boys, like you got Lane Zardo, Sean Chenoweth, Ethan Constable, and all those guys, when you go up against them, you got to pull your socks up and put it all on the line and give it everything you have. So, I feel like I didn't leave anything on the line, and, the Stewart's 56, it was working pretty good tonight.
Jeffy's got to be happy as well. Of course, Stewart's in Erin, Ontario. That's where you want to do your shopping if you're going to be looking for any kind of farm equipment. Stewart's equipment in Erin, Ontario. Jeff Stewart, one of those guys that have been around forever, and the iconic 56 Kubota car. And Brandon, take us back through the race. It was quite a show there today. Wish I could have been there, but I couldn't be there and be here too.
Yeah, no, I started, I qualified 6th, redrew 2nd, and we fell back to like 6th there pretty quick. Like I said before, we just didn't really have the car to fire off with the rest of them guys. And I kind of let them go, and I just kind of chilled out in 6th there and rode. And like I said there, but with 20 to go, the car just came back to me and picked them off one by one. And we had a late race restart, I think, with 10 laps left in the race. And, I knew I was a bit better than Lane. I wasn't sure about the 11 car, but Lane got around the 11, and then I caught Lane, and I'm like, yeah, we got a pretty good shot at this thing. And then with 1 to go, we got the white flag going into 1, and I did use the chrome horn a little bit, but nothing too aggressive, just enough to get him up out of his groove, and we drag race to the finish.
Hey, bud, when it's a big race and you've been the bridesmaid too many times, the nice Mr. Nice Guy goes out the window, and you didn't wreck the guy, you just raced him hard, just like they would to you, bud.
No, not at all. We had a good laugh about it, and actually, when you guys called, we were just in my trailer having a beer, talking about it and laughing, so it's all good between us. I mean, we grew up together. Our families go way back. We used to race bicycles in the backyard practicing when we were like 5 and 6 years old. So it's pretty neat to go up against a guy like that and pull off a win against him.
Pretty cool. You've come a long way, and to get that igloo today's got to be something special. Brent, can I get you just to hang on? We're live on SiriusXM. I'm going to throw it back to them in Toronto. There's a 90-second news update, and then we're back for hour number 2. I still got a few questions that I want to go over. Do you got time?
Yeah, no problem. I got all the time in the world.
Okay. We're going to be back with you now. Things might get kind of quiet on your end. You won't be able to hear what we got going on because there's multiple things happening on different levels, but trust me, we're not dropping you. It's just going to get kind of quiet for a couple of minutes. That's cool?
Sounds good, guys.
Okay, we got Brandon McFerrin with us. We're going to continue the conversation. I want to ask him about Autumn Colors Classic weekend that's coming up. That's one that I know that's right in Brandon's backyard sort of thing. He's done a lot of winning there, a lot of races there, but we are going to throw it back to Toronto, get you up to date on news and highlights. It takes 90 seconds, and then we're back for hour number 2. More with Brandon McFerrin when we come back after this quick 90-second snap. We'll be back. Stay with us live on Racetime Radio.
You're listening to Canada Talks on SiriusXM, Channel 167.
Racetime Radio is brought to you by the Quality Inn, Halifax Airport, the official stay of the Racetime Radio broadcast crew. Also by APX Racewear, the motorsports leader in custom crew apparel and fire suits. Also by the Wooden Door Bistro.
Now Chase Elliott, he gets turned into the outside wall. Holy cow!
The thrill of the race.
Way sideways. Definitely sliding into it, out of control.
It's unbelievable how quickly things can change in racing.
You just never know how it's going to play out.
Insider access to the drivers.
We'll roll with it. We're enjoying it. We'll collect as many trophies as we can.
All right, let's go finish this thing, baby.
It's a new normal. Better figure it out.
SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
Thank you. You are the man.
We're back with hour number 2 of Race Time Radio. With the two Joes here on Race Time Radio on SiriusXM 167, where Canada talks.
And just like that, we are back with you all live tonight on SiriusXM Channel 167, Canada Talks, also live on RaceTimeRadio.com. And check out our new YouTube channel, RaceTime Radio TV. You can get that at YouTube. And welcome back, everybody. We're with Brandon McFerrin, driver of the 56 for Stewart's. He wins today's Frostoberfest Superstock Edition. He went out there and topped some of the best in the country. Brandon McFerrin in Victory Lane. He's with us on the hotline. Brand, so is that it for the season? Or I can well imagine you've got your eyes firmly planted on the 29th annual Autumn Colors Classic weekend coming up next weekend, or what have you got planned?
Well, to be quite honest with you guys, I think we're going to go out on a high note. 90% sure the car's sold, so I don't really want to risk it taking it to Autumn Colors and wrecking it on the guys. So if if the deal doesn't go through, you might see the 56 there. I mean, it'd be a shame not to go after capping this deal off. But like I said, I think the car's sold, so we might just call it a year and maybe go watch. Yeah, you don't want to twist anything up. Good car sold. There's always next year that you can jump into it because you're gonna. When you look down that road, what are you thinking for 2023? That quick fire starter Superstock Series was going this year, and so many big races for Superstocks. Will you get another Superstock, or what's your plan, bud? Yeah, so actually, we're working right along the line with Sean McWhorter at Streamline Race Products. Sean's been helping me out for the last year and a half now. I can't thank him enough. He's got me to this point, and I really can't say enough about the program that he runs. So this is like a McCall chassis that we took to him, and he's just made it really, really good. But we're just gonna sell it, and he's gonna build us a brand new Streamline chassis. There's a few of them out there floating, like the 11 car I was racing with for the win tonight. That's a Streamline car. Miles Tyson just got brought one out. He's been quick at the quick races, so we're going to get me one of those cars for next year and, go see if we can't go get us a quick championship. Man, what a time. Watching that series and following it along on G-Force, some tremendous Superstock races. Guys did a great job behind the wheel. You would be definitely a threat to get out there and duke it out with the best of them. And there's nothing wrong, Bren, with going out on a high note. Where will the Igloo sit? Is it going to be in the shop, trophy case? Where is it going to be? Well, I don't know where it's going to go. I got a little guy hanging around me, and he says it's going to sit in his room. So it might sit in Chase's room for till maybe I'll take it home in a couple weeks. He can have it for a few. Nothing wrong with that at all. You mentioned Stewart's on the car. Any other supporters on there that helped you out today? Yeah, like I said, Jeff Stewart, Stewart's Equipment, Kubota Canada, I really can't say enough about them. They stand behind me 110%. They let me do this thing that I love so much. NRD Byproducts, they help me out as well. Streamline, Sean McWhorter, Mike Allen. There's so many people that are behind me. Ayla Chase, my mom and dad, just everybody, my crew, my spotter Mikey all year, and my tire guy. He killed it. So there's a throng of people standing behind me. I'm on cloud 9 right now. I'm sure I'm forgetting a few people, but they all know where they stand, and I just couldn't do it without them.
Well, congratulations on the big win. I think I can hear the Pro Late models twisting behind you. You probably want to get a little bit of vision in before the season ends up for you there. Is it the Pro Lates on track now?
It sure is, yeah. I'm just sitting in the truck now listening to them. They just got off a red flag. Somebody got twisted up, so I'm going to go check it out and see what it's all about.
Well, we can't thank you enough for your time tonight. Congratulations on the big win, and you did it, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for everything you guys do as well.
You betcha. That's Brandon McFerrin, driver of the 56. He won today at Flamboro Speedway. What a job, and what an iconic race to win. You know, Frostoberfest, not enough said about Mike Schmidt from London Recreational. Does a fantastic job, you know. Oktoberfest, that has historically always been at Flamboro Speedway. It's been there since I was a kid. I've gone to it many, many times. And I'm going to say it was 10 years ago or so, maybe even a little longer than that. Mike Schmidt from London Recreational, strong supporter of teams. Sean Chenoweth, the 35 of Andy Camerath, and it was Andrew Griselle. He was a good supporter of Andrew in the 81, and many drivers have, had that LLR logo or LRR logo on the side of their race car. Mike jumped in big time and created Frostoberfest, and they've got these trophies that are hand-carved by a friend of Mike's up in Inuvik. And his name's Hop, I believe, that handcrafts these trophies. And I'll tell you what, they're one of the most sought-after trophies in all of Ontario racing, guaranteed. And good to hear, Brandon, finally, not a bridesmaid anymore, but he goes to the big show, and he wins. And beating guys like Lane Zardo in that 36 Bester Forest Products Ford, that's saying something, I'll tell you. Along with, Garrett Tamirsman, the 17 car. And there was a great car count there today. For the Pro Late models, I want to say there's 27 cars that are there at the Speedway. I don't know if they started them all, but we will find out as the night unfolds. With cars on track, a little hard to get the drivers at this particular point. Gary Elliott, the 36 Quaker State machine. We haven't seen Gary in Ontario in a couple of years. He's been out on Canada's East Coast and running the Pro Stock Tour out there. With the big hurricane that went through last weekend, the races did get canceled. Gary had planned to be at Flamboro Speedway for Frostoberfest today, so he consequently missed the last race of the Pro Stock Tour in efforts to be at Flamboro Speedway today. So we hope to catch up with Gary Elliott before the end of the show. I don't know whether we're going to be successful. I don't know how many laps are in just yet at Flamboro Speedway, but we're going to try and get the winner of the race. We're going to try and get you all the information that we can before the end of the night. We're going to hit a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get off to the other side of the border. We're bringing a good friend of Race Time Radio, the driver of the 23 champion truck in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. We got Grant Enfinger that's going to jump on here with us on the other side of the break, and we're looking forward to catching up with Grant. So stay with us. We will be back with lots more tonight, live on Race Time Radio.
She was a girl in a short dress. I was a boy in a charcoal vest. When the winter wind came calling, that engine like a stalling.
Coast to coast, you're listening to Canada Talks.
Hey, this is JP from Peterborough Speedway. This Thanksgiving weekend, October the 7th to the 9th, we're hosting our annual Autumn Colors Classic, the biggest racing event in Ontario. 3 days of racing action at Peterborough Speedway presented by Lucas Oil in Pure Country.
All right, man, you're ready to go.
This year, the Speedway hosts 10 divisions of racing action with the best drivers in the country appearing. Friday, it's first round qualifying for the Bone Stocks, Mini Stocks, Super Stocks, Legends, hot rods, along with the Young Gun races.
You know you gotta do.
Gates will open at 5 and racing will start at 6. Saturday, October the 8th, it's second round qualifying action with B features, the late models and junior late models, along with outlaw midgets added to the bill. Sunday, October the 9th, wraps it all up with feature events for all divisions, including the late model Electric City 167. Peterborough Speedway and Pure Country bring you to Crown Jewel Racing, the 29th annual Autumn Colors Classic weekend of October the 7th to the 9th. Visit peterboroughtspeedway.com to book your tickets in advance.
Good job, driver, good job.
Even though Napa is a nationally known name, nearly all of our stores are built from the ground up by local owners and families. People you might call neighbors will be here, there, and everywhere, doing what neighbors do to keep their communities moving forward. You stop by a Napa Auto Parts store, you can count on Napa know-how.
Tonight's Race Time Radio is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts Stores, New Glasgow, Indiganish, and Port Hawkesbury, Nova Scotia. You can count on Napa know-how. AP Race Fuels, the worldwide leader in race fuel technology. APX Racewear. Look, feel, be epic at epicracewear.ca.
Now, a flashback in Canadian music history. Here's Eric Alper.
Rush holds a special place in our hearts and in the record books. They've sold more than 40 million copies around the world. They have a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and officers of the Order of Canada. And they've released 24 gold records and 14 platinum albums, placing them 5th for the most consecutive gold or platinum studio albums by any rock band.
From the high banks of Daytona, we cover it all. Ooh, that's going to leave a mark. And now, back to the Joes.
Hey, shake and bake, Cal. Woo! Shake and bake!
Here on Race Time Radio.
And welcome back, everybody, to Race Time Radio. So glad you could tune in tonight. Still getting over this cold that I've had for 2 weeks, so hopefully I don't start going into a choking fit. But we're going to try and keep it all glued together. We're going to get back to the hotline and bring in a real good friend of Race Time Radio, and it's been far too long since we've heard from this driver. He drives in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. He is one of the best. And he drives the 23 Champion Equipment machine, and it is Grant Enfinger. He joins us on the hotline. Grant, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, Joe. I appreciate you having me on.
Man, it's been way too long. We missed your win. We've a lot of water's gone under the bridge since you and I were on this channel, and the season has been going real good up until the tire popped on your truck on the weekend.
Yeah. Anytime you go to Talladega, you got about an 80% chance of bringing it home on the hook, and it's not normally a tire that is the cause of that, like it was for us yesterday at Talladega. So unfortunately, Goodyear brought some goofy tires this time around, and we're having some cordon issues throughout the field, and it was unfortunately took 5 or 6 of us out. Just a little bit of a bummer. It's a place we normally don't really have any tire wear, so it kind of caught everybody off guard on pit road, and trying to kind of do what we needed to keep ourselves in contention, and just went away at the wrong time. I felt it starting to go away going into turn 3 and the middle of turn 3 and 4. I tried to ease up and just got clipped from behind and ended up wrecking it. So unfortunate into our day. I always want to have a good showing at the home state, but Speedway racing, you're going to have that kind of stuff, I guess.
And beautiful weather, too. Usually in the fall, it's kind of one of these, one of those kind of things, but not so this year. I thought, man, this is perfect. We're going to have perfect weather. Things are going really good. And Grant, whenever I watch a truck race, I've definitely got my eye keyed in on that championship machine and on the champion machine. And watching you come through, I thought, man, Grant's in good shape here. And he was coming Did it feel good in the truck? Were you happy with everything up until the time the thing let go?
Yeah, I think overall we had a pretty solid Champion Power Equipment Chevrolet. We, I don't know if we were the class of the field or anything like that, but we were in contention. Seemed to be pretty good at pushing. Never really led a line to know how good we'd be leading, but overall just a solid truck that Jeff Hensley and the guys brought me, and unfortunately it just didn't pan out the way it needed to. So we've we're in quite a hole going into Homestead. Basically we've got to win the race there at Homestead to make it to the championship four there at home. But it's something myself and Hensley have been able to do before. We've been in this spot before. Definitely not a spot we'd like to be in, but we have been able to dig ourselves out of it before. So definitely gonna have to pull out all the stops and put everything on kill and hope for the best there at Homestead.
Winning, you're in. That's the mantra, and that seems to be what works. So it doesn't matter how far back. I know, what is it, like 25 points or something like that, whatever it was. I looked at it earlier today, and you are back. But, Grant, that's the beauty of this. It's kind of like a double-edged sword, right? It's not the traditional way, and now it has been over the last 4 or 5 years, but, we're used to seeing that long endurance season up until, the new format rolled out, and it's kind of a double-edged sword, but if you win, you do stay in, and you do continue on. And Homestead Miami Speedway, is that a track that's real good for you? I know you like riding up high, and definitely that's the line around Homestead.
Yeah, I think Homestead is pretty much all of the drivers' favorite track. I think it's just a place you have so much power where you're adapting each and every lap because you just the pace falls off so much, which is great. I mean, I think that's what provides really good racing. I think that's what shows really good drivers and really good crew chiefs and trucks. You have to be able to adapt to all those situations. So. And I've gotten comfortable running the wall there the last few years, and we're definitely going to need to do that when we get there. So we've been in contention for some wins there, finished second there a few years back, but definitely it's an opportunity for us, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
Grant, when you run Homestead Miami Speedway, been there, watched championship, Ford Championship weekend back in the day. Been there a couple of years and watched the races. The one year I was there, I want to say it was Cale Gale that pulled a real surpriser on the Friday night and beat, Kyle Busch to the line and won himself a race that night. It was exciting like all get out. It's not your typical mile-and-a-half style racetrack. Homestead Miami Speedway, you guys are really, really hauling the mail there.
Yeah, it's one of the best mile and a halves we go to. You can move around there from the top to the bottom. A lot of times on older tires, the top becomes dominant, but it doesn't have to in the truck races. So it seems like 1 and 2 you can run, wherever you want to. It seems like in years past I've been almost better off running the middle of the track towards the bottom in 1 and 2. But then running the wall there in 3 and 4. But you got plenty of options. It's definitely a driver's track, a place that you're going to be out of the throttle a lot more than we normally are at these mile and a half. But the progressive banking just makes for a great show. So it's still a place, because we're truck racing and because NASCAR has the rules that they do. It's still a place where track position matters. But it doesn't matter quite as much as the other places we go to because you got so many lanes you can use.
So qualifying will come up for you when you do get to the track. Will you put huge emphasis on qualifying? Of course, everybody wants the pole, but do you maybe give a little bit for the race as opposed to the qualifying effort? Is that logical or sensible or not really?
For us, it'll be all about race stuff, which, like it has been for about 80% of the races this year, we're only getting a 20-minute practice. So if you did a qualifying run during that's pretty much all you would be able to get in. So we'll be doing race stuff, and then for qualifying, we'll hope we guessed right.
Yeah, and go after it. I know you will. Always great watching you behind the wheel of the truck. Grade the season for us. I know the pandemic's sort of in the rearview mirror. I know everybody's still got to be safe, but people are back at the track, and you know the pandemic. It wore its welcome out. It's gone. The year has got to feel totally different. But score the year for us, will you? In the 23, how have you enjoyed the season?
Yeah, overall, talking about the pandemic and all, there is none of that anymore down here. So yeah, come on down here if you want some you want some good old fashioned like it was, but before the pandemic. So lots of campers, lots of fans at most of these races, and that's been enjoyable. We've gotten back to normal down here. So we're having autograph sessions again. We're meeting and greeting the fans, and we've been doing that all year long. So that's definitely been a great feeling to have some normalcy, because for a year and a half there, from the middle of the way through 2020 when we started back racing all the way through 21, basically, it was it's tough. People weren't always allowed at the track. There was instances where they wouldn't even let my wife stay with me when we were at the races and stuff like that. And we're 100% back to normal now, and that's a great feeling. But us on the 23, we've we had a subpar first half of the season. I'd give us a D. From Daytona to basically the midpoint of the season, and about the time that the second half of the season started, we started building some momentum and building some speed. We didn't put all the races together that we could, but we started building, and we found the direction that we were looking for, and we started going down that road. And GMS Fabrication is built us some trucks. We had a brand new one at Richmond about a month ago. We're going to have another brand new one here at Homestead. So we're our second half of the season to this point, I'd give us a B there. We finally got into victory lane there at IRP. We've had a lot of top fives here lately. We've run solid. We're still not we're not a weekly contender. We're not leading enough laps. We don't have the sheer speed that we're used to at GMS Racing and that I'm used to. But the effort is there. I'm telling you, Joe. There is more effort behind this 23 Champion Power Equipment Chevy than I've ever had in my entire career. So I'm extremely thankful for GMS Racing and Chevrolet for that opportunity. But yeah, it's started out subpar, but we're getting there for sure.
Absolutely. Watching, especially when the chase all started coming around, Grant, your numbers were right there. You were like a top 5 truck each and every time you hit the track, or very, very close to it. And you know what? That's what you need to be at the time you need to be at. And that's what I love watching about you. When I watch you out there with all the other cast of characters that you race against, Grant Enfinger, you got to be a threat to win each and every time you belt in to that truck. And it's always cool to see. What does it look like for 2023, or have you crossed that bridge yet? Is it a multi-year deal? Will we see you back behind the wheel of the 23 next year as well?
Yes, I'll be back behind the wheel of the number 23 Champion Power Equipment Chevy again with GMS Racing. So it's a great feeling to have all that stuff done, and that's been done for quite a while. So it's great to go into the off season, or we're soon to be going into the off season, knowing hey, going to be back with really good stuff, with an elite team again, and have opportunities to win more races and chase a championship.
It's all building blocks, isn't it? Like what you guys started with at the beginning of the year. You take a look at the way things are now, and you're going to have a big finish. You got Homestead, Miami Speedway, and then off into Phoenix to cap the season off. But like you say, to know that you don't even have to think about next year other than what you guys have learned this year, to be able to adapt it to next year. Big finish this year, and then lights out for 2023. Away you go. You're going to be strong right from Daytona forward. Grant, with any luck at all, I'll be with you at Daytona come February. I'm really looking forward to getting something going. Really missed the times being down there, and getting up with you guys, and really looking forward to hopefully getting down there in February. But we'll be watching from Canada in the big finish for 2022. How's Wilbur doing? How's Wilbur hanging out?
Wilbur's good. The family's all good. So, Wilbur stayed back from our big trip to Talladega. We actually just got back in a couple hours ago. But my wife's good. The kid's good, and everybody's always asking about the pig. But Wilbur is just fine.
Gotta love it, buddy. This has been great catching up with you. This won't be the last time. We'll get you back on here. I'll be bugging you to get you back on here, and we'll talk. Hopefully, Homestead Miami Speedway or Phoenix or something. We'll get you back on here and catch up. But good luck from here to the end. Know that you got a bunch of race fans on the Canadian side as well as the U.S. side. Grant Enfinger, always appreciate the time.
That sounds great, Joe. Thank you.
You betcha. That's Grant Enfinger. Watch for him at Homestead Miami Speedway. Believe you me, if you're new to the truck series, you got to cue into this truck. This guy can really, really make it happen, and you will not find a nicer driver in the pit area at any track. If you're going to be at Homestead Miami Speedway and there's meet and greets up, you want to meet the driver of the GMS 23. They just, quite truthfully, don't get any better than Mr. Grant Enfinger. And he's got to be a threat to win each and every time in that truck. Got to put it out once again to this week's winner. Matt DiBenedetto goes to victory lane, gets his first NASCAR win. I think back to Daytona, and it's got to be, well, it was the last trip I made to Daytona. I don't know what year it was. So I'm going to say 5-6 years ago. I was standing at Media Day, and there was a guy standing off to the side. And I went over and started chatting him up, and knew he was the driver. Didn't recognize him, though. And lo and behold, it was Matt DiBenedetto. And Matt and I stood there and talked for about 20 minutes. He was coming into NASCAR. I'll tell you what, he was excited to be there and to see him today, to know what he's gone through the Cup Series and through all the stuff that Matty has gone through, to see him finally getting that checkered flag. Good on him. It would be great to catch up with him again, and we'll try and reach out to Matt DiBenedetto and see if we can get him on the show, maybe in the off season, and we'll be able to talk about this. I don't think it would matter if you talk to Matt 6 months, a year from now, or 10 years from now. The feeling of today never, ever will leave, and Matt DiBenedetto would probably be as excited 6 months from now to talk about the weekend that was this weekend and that first victory. It'll be fresh right in his mind. So we look forward to the day of hopefully catching up with Matt DiBenedetto. We're going to hit this break. When we come back, I'm not sure whether we're going to have a Flamboro Speedway update. I don't know whether we're going to have JP from Peterborough Speedway. Did I just say Flamboro twice? Flamboro Speedway is happening right now. Next weekend is the Autumn Colors Classic weekend. We're going to try and get JP on the show. We're going to go somewhere. I'm not exactly sure on the other side of the break, but everything's fluid because we still have races happening as we speak here in Ontario. So we're going to do our best to get you the latest right here live on Race Time Radio. So stay with us. Final break right here.
Poor pitiful me, roaming through them trees. Won't you help me out in the North Country? Underneath them pines, in the green plush scenery,
From coast to coast, you're listening to Canada Talks.
Racetime Radio is brought to you by the Quality Inn, Halifax Airport, the official stay of the Racetime Radio broadcast crew, also by the Wooden Door Bistro.
Even though Napa is a nationally known name, nearly all of our stores are built from the ground up by local owners and families. People you might call neighbors will be here, there, and everywhere. Doing what neighbors do to keep their communities moving forward. You stop by a Napa Auto Parts store, you can count on Napa know-how.
Hey, this is JP from Peterborough Speedway. This Thanksgiving weekend, October the 7th to 9th, we're hosting our annual Autumn Colors Classic, the biggest racing event in Ontario. 3 days of racing action at Peterborough Speedway presented by Lucas Oil in Pure Country.
All right, man, get ready to go.
This year, the Speedway hosts 10 divisions of racing action with the best drivers in the country appearing. Friday, it's first round qualifying for the Bone Stocks, Mini Stocks, Super Stocks, Legends, Hot Rods, along with the Young Gun races.
You know you gotta do.
Gates will open at 5 and racing will start at 6. Saturday, October the 8th, it's second round qualifying action with B features, the late models and junior late models along with outlaw midgets added to the bill. Sunday, October the 9th wraps it all up with feature events for all divisions, including the late model Electric City 167. Peterborough Speedway and Pure Country bring you to Crown Jewel Racing, the 29th annual Autumn Colors Classic weekend of October the 7th to the 9th. Visit peterboroughspeedway.com to book your tickets in advance.
Good job, driver, good job.
Tonight's Racetime Radio is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts Stores, Port Hawkesbury, New Glasgow, and Enfinger, Nova Scotia.
Drivers, start your engines!
Welcome back to the track. Live on Racetime Radio, SiriusXM 167.
And welcome back, everybody, to Racetime Radio. So glad you could tune in tonight all live on SiriusXM Channel 167 Canada Talks. Also live on RaceTimeRadio.com. Don't forget to check us out on our new YouTube channel at RaceTimeRadioTV. You can get that on YouTube. But what do you say we get back to the hotline and welcome in our next guest. He owns Peterborough Speedway and is staring at the 29th annual Autumn Colors Classic weekend. It's coming up next weekend, and you can bet JP has been burning the candle at both ends. Let's welcome him into the hotline. JP, what's going on? How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great. Getting back to the house here, so.
Good deal. How are things shaping up for the 29th annual Autumn Colors Classic weekend?
Stuff's shaping up well. There's the little added twist this year was the storm that came through in May, so we were still they're coming to put a roof on the tower tomorrow, so that's getting ready for the Autumn Colors is always a crazy adventure, but this just made it a little crazier. So, but things are coming together good. Lots of people have been out there helping out, and the place is looking amazing, and we had a bit of an open practice this afternoon, and just putting all the wheels in motion.
You gotta love it, JP, and trust me when I say, fans, you do not want to miss one moment of the Autumn Colors Classic weekend. If you've never been to Peterborough Speedway and witnessed the Autumn Colors Classic weekend, then, well, first you got to be new, because everybody in the province heads to Peterborough Speedway for the big weekend, and we've even had drivers come from far to jump in to the Autumn Colors Classic weekend. It's iconic, it's big, and man, it's action from Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday. It goes all the way through. JP, how are things shaping up? Is there any camping left available? Can fans still get a campsite, or are they pretty well scooped for that now?
Oh, those are scooped up probably 3-4 months ago, and we luckily there's been a couple people that had some come open, so we've been able to help some people out. But yeah, camping is, we have 226 sites, and they're all sold out at this point in life.
Yeah, gotta love it when that comes together. That's a good sign. How about hotel rooms? Is there any left in Peterborough that you know of? Or
I think we're better this year with hotel rooms because there used to be a hockey tournament on the same weekend,
Right.
which pretty well wiped everything out from here to Oshawa. But they're running on a different weekend this year, so there is some options in town to stay in hotels right now.
That's good. That's good. And the local establishments have really got to turn to Peterborough Speedway and thank you guys for doing what you do, because there is a lot of economic impact for the Peterborough market when the Autumn Colors Classic weekend takes shape. You've got a lot of divisions running over the course of the weekend.
Yeah, and it's actually, you mentioned about the local businesses, because it's funny, there's businesses like the Tim Hortons at my end of town and others, they will actually call and ask when the Autumn Colors is so they can, staff accordingly.
Yeah, ramp up the staffing. That's a good plan. I've been in those lineups, and got kind of a welcome sight when they turn the wick up, like the Speedway, to get the people rolled through. But you got a lot coming up, all starting Friday night. Let's start with that.
Yeah, so we have we added junior lates this year, so we're running 10 divisions in total. So we open Thursday night for parking, and we're doing a pit party again this Thursday night from 7 till 10 o'clock with live music and a barbecue for the drivers. And then we fire off on Friday with practice and tech, and then racing will start on the Friday night. And we do basically do first round qualifying on the Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
With the exception this year, we're going to do both rounds of qualifying for the Oscar Hot Rods on the Friday night, and they used to be split over to 2 nights. And then we do a last chance. Hold on. We do a non-winners race for the Legends. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem, bud. You got a lot coming at you.
And then we do second round qualifying for everybody on the Saturday. Gates will open at 2:30. Racing will start at 3:30 on Saturday, and then we throw the hot rods, the Oscar modifieds, into the mix. They replace the hot rods on the Saturday, so they're going to be doing both their qualifying races on Saturday, and then the pro sprints and the outlaw midgets, along with the junior lights, they're going to do all their heats and features on the Saturday night, and then the Legends this year are going to be doing a 30-lap feature on the Saturday night, which will set them up for a 30-lap feature on the Sunday. So we've changed that from a heat to a 30-lap feature. Cool. And then whatever B features that we need or last chance races, we'll run them off on Saturday night still, just to set up the lineups for Sunday.
Now, it's a special event weekend, but there is championships that are on the line. I look at Oscar. I would imagine they're modified. Their hot rod champions will be crowned at Autumn Colors Classic weekend. Is that true?
That is true. They set those championships, and I'm not sure on the midgets, but I'm going to guess that they will be crowning their champions too. Because I know with Oscar, it's always been crucial that we try and get both their heats in, even if we get into inclement weather, because the championships, sometimes are extremely close, and they want to make sure they can get all the points they need.
Oh, yeah. They don't want to go back and, try and make it up or twist it in some, way or form or what have you. This way here, they're going to get their races in. And really, JP, when you look at it, you got 3-day window to get a lot of races in. And I know you got a lot of races, but fans got to know when they head to Peterborough Speedway, they're heading into race country and the biggest show in all of Ontario, all of Canada, really, on this weekend. This is the one that pulls everything together. I know Tim Terry, we had him on the show last week, and, Tim and I talked about Autumn Colors. He was there last year, I believe, or could have been the year before that with Robbie Thompson, coming out of the East Coast to Canada. And I think back, JP, I think back now quite a few years ago, but I was sitting in the grandstand, and Tim Terry was up there for the very first time to see Autumn Colors. I was on him all summer long saying, Tim, you got to check this race out. And lo and behold, he did. He come up, checked it out, and I know watching the broadcast last night, for the Tirecraft 200 out there, Timmy was talking about autumn colors and, really hoping that he was going to be able to make his way up here once again. You got fans and competitors that come from across the country. Is there anybody that maybe we don't know of right now that is coming, that has maybe tipped their hand saying, hey, we're coming, JP?
There's been a bunch of interest, but nobody's put their hand and committed saying that they are coming. So, from far distances, I mean, Gary Elliott obviously has made his way back here. I think he was at Flamboro today, so, he'll be joining us again for the autumn colors.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Canada's Iron Man. He's got to love showing up at Peterborough Speedway. He's one of those fixtures as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah, pretty.
Yeah, it's crazy because, people come from everywhere, and it's come out of the States. They come out of it every year, you have people from Calgary, and, I mean, it is. And, our format, the 3 days, with the Monday as actually a fallback on the rain date, it allows us, to adjust things and to make sure that we can put that show on. And that's, the odd person, sometimes some of the series are asking, like, oh, can't we do 1 days? And it's like, well, it's with this format and the weather, it has worked well. This is 29th year for this event. Should have been the 30th because we skipped one because of COVID.
Right.
But it's, it allows us to adjust, and it puts on, the racing. I mean, Sunday, when we fire at 12:30 on Sunday, we have features right through till, late into that evening. And, we run 7 features on the Sunday and 3 features on Saturday night.
Yeah.
But, if you've never been to this event, it's, we're somewhere in that always 200 to 250 race cars over all the divisions. And it is just, it's an event. The camping and everything and live music on 2 nights. And definitely will get your racing fix.
Yeah, you will.
And the action, and every year there's, I remember, what was it? Going back to 2019 when Dan Archibald and Colton Evernham got together.
Yeah.
And then everywhere I went that winter in the States, they were like, hey, was that your track with that videos on? So it just, there's a lot of recognition to this event.
Yes, there sure is. I think back to some of those magic moments of Autumn Colors Classic Weekend. And, I often think of Todd Davenport back when he was running his Thunder car back then. The guys created a crown that would be passed on each year at Autumn Colors Classic Weekend. When a guy would win that particular Thunder car race, he got the crown, and he got to hang on to that crown for the full year until the next year. And if he won again, well, I guess he got to keep the crown. But if he didn't, he had to pass it on. Is that tradition still going on today?
That crown is sitting in my office right now for the Autumn Colors again. So it came back to us, and it's sitting here. So
isn't that amazing? JP, how did that start? Who started that?
I honestly don't know. It just, I'd have to do some digging. It appeared, and it was like, what, didn't pay much attention to it the first year, and then it's like it came back, and I'm like, oh. And then people are like, well, here's the crown, and then it all of a sudden became, now we're having to look after it because making sure we get our crown back every year. And
I can well imagine, and it is it's one of those deals, man. You want to win that. If you're a Thundercar driver, you definitely want to put that crown on the top of your head. Means that you beat the best in Canada, and you did it at the Autumn Colors Classic Weekend. JP, Pro Late Models are going to be definitely one of the highlights of the weekend, running the 167 this year. That's going to be a long race for those guys. It's going to be quite a show.
Yeah, it's we switched that race in 2018 to 167 laps when we combined the divisions, and it's last year it came down to Kimball and JR for the last 15 or 20 laps, and I think they traded the lead probably 10 times, and it's lived up to be an excellent show. It's there's nobody that's really ran away with that race because with that distance, the tire management and all that stuff and the competition yellow, there's a lot of strategy that starts to come into this race, which gives the fans a really good show.
JP, you're not just the promoter at Peterborough Speedway. You do have a race car. You've been racing a long time. Now, will you partake in the Autumn Colors Classic weekend, or is it just way, way too much for you, and you'll do your racing after the Speedway closes down for the year?
My next race will be Waterford Speed Bowl on the 29th of this month. As you running like pro late, super late, it's 110, 120% effort. You can't run in a racetrack and run a car at the same time and be successful at both.
Yeah, I can well imagine, because you put everything you've got into whatever you do, and that's the cool part about Peterborough Speedway. It's the cool part about watching the 24 car, too, when you get behind the wheel.
Yeah, we've always been that way, and my family's there cooking breakfast every morning at 8 a.m. You can for the people that are camping out in the campground, and we're always trying to improve, make it better, and give the fans, create a better experience. And every year we're like, how are we going to make it better? And every year we somehow do something different.
Yeah.
People are like, yeah, that was great. Let's do that again.
Let's do that again. Yeah, good for you. Tickets for fans. If they're going to come for the full weekend, is there a weekend pass? Is there availability where, they buy them ahead of time? Or what's the situation there? You can buy them by the day too, right?
Yes. So we have both. We have day passes. We have a weekend pass. Weekend pass, by far the best deal. $65 gets you in for all 3 days. When we have two options, you can go to our website and click through on buy tickets. You can buy them ahead on Eventbrite, or if you're coming to the track, you can buy them at the ticket window. Obviously, ticket window is only cash, but if you want to run it on a credit card, you can do it ahead of time. And I think the Sunday's going to be $40 for spectators. The Friday night is $20, and I believe the Saturday's $30.
Dynamite
So
value.
even if you're coming for the 2 days, we still offer the weekend pass on the Saturday, because you're cheaper to buy a weekend pass than pay Saturday and Sunday individually. And then you get the Friday on top of that at no charge.
Well, you're not going to get better value than that for what the fan can get. The Autumn Colors Classic weekend is the weekend that you definitely want to get your final fix of short track racing here in this country. Peterborough Speedway is where you're going to want to be. And by the look of it, and I don't want to jinx nothing, I'm touching wood, touching the top of my head, JP, the forecast does look conducive of really good racing for all 3 days right now.
Yeah, I've over the years, I've stopped sort of looking at the forecast. So, because we sit here and then it's like it calls for rain for like 9 days, and we've had snow, we've had rain, we've lost days. Actually, we've been fogged out before. We couldn't see the backstretch, but we've always made it work, and as long as it's sunny, that's all that matters.
But I've been at Autumn Colors where I'm sitting there in a T-shirt, nicer at Autumn Colors weekend than it has been on some July weekends at some of the short tracks. I can guarantee you that it is the place to be. And what's the color at right now? When you're sitting at the Speedway and looking out, the colors are always dynamite. How are they looking right now?
Actually, about 4 days ago, I said, wow, this place is way too green. But in the last 2 days with the chillier nights, it's starting to spin, and I think it'll be really good next week.
Yeah, amazing. And the drive to the Speedway, you know what? I always did that Highway 7 run and come out and around, sometimes go up Horseshoe Valley way. It's always been a beautiful run to Peterborough Speedway, and I'm looking forward to doing it again next weekend. JP, this has been great catching up with you. I can't thank you enough for the time And can't thank you enough from all the race fans and competitors for all the emphasis that you, your family, and your whole staff puts into the Autumn Colors Classic weekend. You do a phenomenal job, bud, and you don't get near the credit that you deserve for what you do and what you do in this sport. Peterborough Speedway is a cornerstone, and it's definitely one that's got to be on every race fan's book to make it out to. And good part is we got a big one coming up next weekend.
Well, thank you very much. Family, we've always loved the sport of racing and love doing what we do. So that's probably shows through with what we do, but it's just for the love of racing and just chose that to make it our business.
Absolutely. You guys do a phenomenal job. I know we'll get you back on the show, JP, and we'll leave you alone next weekend because I know you're going to be super busy. But we will be in touch before you go green and get back behind the wheel. Look forward to that part of it as well down south.
Sounds good.
You betcha. JP, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you very much.
You betcha. JP Josier from Peterborough Speedway. Autumn Colors Classic weekend. Man, it doesn't get any better than that. It is coming up next weekend. You do not want to miss it. The weather looks spectacular, so make your plans and get the guys, get the whole family, and head for Peterborough Speedway Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's going to truly be amazing to see. Sue, I want to see if you can grab me Junior on the hotline. He is down at Flamboro Speedway. I'm going to try and get you a quick update from the Speedway. If possible, we're going to try and get you that before we wrap up. Things getting close to the top of the hour, and we will be handing it back to SiriusXM at the top of the hour. Lots of great programming here on SiriusXM Channel 167 Canada Talks. Been the proud home of Racetime Radio for over 10 years now and counting. Next weekend, the Thanksgiving weekend, we won't be on the air next weekend. We plan on heading to Peterborough Speedway and being part of the action down there and seeing absolutely everybody. So we won't be on the air next Sunday night as normal. We will be back the following Sunday night, all live here on SiriusXM. So just a programming note there. We will see you all at Peterborough Speedway. But let's get back to the hotline, shall we, and bring in Junior. He's, of course, not here in the studio. Hasn't been for a couple of weeks. He's been foot to the floor doing some spotting. He was today at Flamboro Speedway, and that's where he is right now. What's going on, Junior? How are you?
You guys got the wrong number. It's Brandon McFerrin again.
Oh, we got Brandon McFerrin again. Well, we'll have to get... That is too funny.
I thought you guys wanted to do another interview. I'm like, hell yeah, I'll go back on the line.
Too funny. My wife dialed my son. My wife didn't dial my son. But, Brandon, you did a good job, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, we're going to try and get Junior on the hotline. That's what we'll do. We'll slide Brandon back down, and we'll throw it back to Sue as time is clicking away here. We got to put it out to Chase Elliott as well today. I don't know whether you've seen the Cup race or not, but probably one of the best super speedway races that I've seen in a lot of years. Today, watched the Cup race start to finish, and that Napa Chevrolet goes to victory lane. He did it, made a masterful move, and there wasn't the big wreck at the end this time, which was really welcoming. There was a lot of good side-by-side racing all day long. The 12 car was up there. The 34 of Michael McDowell finishes third. No stranger to a good finishing position on a super speedway. Michael McDowell is the real deal in that Love's machine. He did a great job today, finishes up the race third, and we will try the hotline once again. Maybe my son, I don't know. Maybe we've got Brandon again. Who have I got?
Oh, we definitely have your son.
There we go. Junior, how are you, buddy?
Hey, cool.
Oh, I bet. Cool out there. How did the racing go today?
itself was great. There was a lot of hard-nosed short track racing, and I think the fans got their money's worth. You know how these playoff season races go. There's a lot of hurry up and wait, but that being said, there was also a lot of great racing. So hats off to Mike Schmidt and all the boys for putting on a whale of a show. It was definitely it was encouraging to see. There was a good crowd. There was a lot of cars. I mean, when's the last time you see 27 late models take the green at a special in Ontario? Last little few years has been a little bit light on the car count, and you can't say the same thing about this weekend. There was great cars front to back, and a solid super stock count, a good midget count, and by all accounts, Saturday was a great show as well. So the racing gods they shined down upon Mr. Caselli and Mike Schmidt and all the guys, and you can't ask for a better thing than that.
Oh, no. Well said. Well said. You know, the emphasis into the weekend, they pour a lot into it, and by the sounds of it, they were rewarded this weekend with good car counts and good fans. That's the way you want to see a big event finish up for Flamboro Speedway. They did just an amazing job. The 29 car gets the pole for today's race. Ryan Kimball's had a good car, Joe.
Yeah, Ryan Kimball had a great car. He proved it all night long. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with over at Autumn Colors too, I think. And towards the end of the season, they really came to life in the APC series. And he proved it once again today. He was strong. He laid down a really fast lap, and he was there on lap 98, I guess, when Gressel and Fitzpatrick started duking it out. The 29 actually made his way up to second spot in that exchange, and unfortunately there was a late race yellow for a green-white checkered. Kind of trapped Kimball up top and allowed Fitzpatrick to get back around him, but a really, really strong outing for the 29, a really strong outing for the 81 as well, and obviously Fitzpatrick, continued his dominance in the front half of the field with a solid second place finish for the 84, with the 55 stickered on the side. Of course, he ran Chris House's car for the first round of the Triple Crown. That's why you've seen a 55 on the door of the 84 machine for this weekend. But it was definitely a good race. There was no real hard feelings after, just good short track racing. There was definitely contact, and JR in contact. Any short track racer in contact. It was well received, but in the same respect, there's the memory bank. Never stops filling up. So it was quite the final few laps. There was lots of rooting and gouging, and Gressel ended up coming out on top, and hats off to him. It was a great show for the 81.
Yeah, good stuff. Now the 55 of Fitzpatrick. Then does he win the Drysdale Triple Crown with the combined stuff?
Yes. I guess unofficially, because when I left, the car was still in tech.
Right.
But unofficially, he's the winner of the Triple Crown, and that's his first Triple Crown. By the sounds of it, he was definitely excited about it.
Good deal, Junior. Thanks for the update. I only got a minute left to sign off, but you have a safe trip home, and I know Peterborough Speedway is going to be the place to be next weekend.
Absolutely.
You betcha, Junior. Thanks so much. We'll catch up with you soon.
You got her.
You betcha. Joe Chisholm Jr. on the hotline. Busy guy. And he's going to be busy again next weekend. But that is going to do it for us tonight, live on Racetime Radio. Got to thank Susie Q right here in the Racetime Radio studio, and the guys back in Toronto for hooking us up. And I got to thank you for tuning in, all live on Racetime Radio. We won't be with you next Sunday night as normal. We will be back in 2 weeks on Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, all live on SiriusXM, channel 167. Have a happy Thanksgiving weekend next weekend, everybody, and we will catch you the Sunday after. Have a good, safe one, and we'll see you at Peterborough Speedway.
Thanks for listening to Racetime Radio. Visit us on the web at www.racetimeradio.com. We hope you'll join us again next time for more Racetime Radio.
Come on now, dig.
Exclusively on your home for the hardcore race fan.
Excellent, buddy, excellent.